Oh no, she's being Baghdad.
I'm pretty good at this.
You can snap out of it. Okay, we're on the hunt for the 9th episode.
Where is it?
Where is it? January 7th, 2020. And we are talking about episode 9.
Second finale.
The secret
going on.
Yeah. And everybody's kind of losing their minds over all of this.
Wondering if the Duffers are actually amazing and like the greatest writers ever, or if they're just like a little bit lazy.
So let's start with this. It is well after the time that any episode should have dropped, right?
Yeah.
It's like 10 o'clock.
Release at like 7 or 8.
So let's go to Netflix and look. Okay. I'm on Netflix. I'm just seeing a whole bunch of Gossip Girl.
No, there's Stranger Things.
Let's search for Stranger Things.
Searching like a fake end Conformity Gate.
Season 5. Okay. 9.
But apparently there's a documentary coming out.
Now I'm watching.
Apparently there's a documentary coming out on the 12th. About Stranger Things.
Let's go to the most reliable news source on the internet. Twitter.
XLI?
XLI. And see, what do we have? 1 hour ago. Everyone hating to everyone who hated the ending and won't let others enjoy it. Oh no, it's all the middle finger.
Yeah.
Oh, this is from Stranger Things News 11, which actually has a ton of followers.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're kind of salty. Who else liked the ending and doesn't think anything needs to be changed? Apparently,
that's like I've never seen that horse.
They're getting paid by Stranger Things.
Yeah.
This is
because there's no way.
They're a little too positive. The Duffer Brothers checking social media right now.
I really do wonder what the Duffers are thinking right now.
They're sitting in there releasing an AI version.
Like I genuinely wonder. Are they keeping up? They have to be knowing.
Yeah,
somebody's got to be telling them if they're not on social media themselves looking.
So,
like everyone thinks there's another episode.
You know your finale. Everyone on the internet thinks that there's actually be a second one.
I think your thing about the denial really was real. Like I genuinely do think people are in denial. Way there has to be another episode.
I think it's part that, and then it's like partly just everybody being trolls to each other.
Yeah, because like one person does it, and then you kind of like get into it, and you're like, oh. But I think everyone knows in their heart, like they knew in their heart that there really wasn't going to be.
Bro.
Wait, that's so good.
Chapter 9, the vanishing of the Duffer Brothers.
As it should be.
Stranger Things by Netflix.
What's the last thing they posted?
7 hours ago, they posted this video that's just a clip from the kids on the roof talking about what they're going to do with their lives.
At the very end.
And 3 million people watched it. And
Dang.
I bet the
comments
are unhinged. In 4 hours, this was 7 hours ago. In 4 hours, the Duffer Brothers will either get put in the Hall of Fame or the Hall of Shame. Nothing in between.
He thought he
5,000 likes. That's pretty good. The Demogorgons are fun. So did we podcast?
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone
no,
knew
totally.
Understandable.
Or rather, they're at the stage of acceptance, as we all are.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of weird things, and that's why I think it took off so much, because when you look at the 5th season, it's like, what? No, like you look at it, she like didn't.
Yes.
So like, why did she not? Like, there's just so many things like that.
There are a lot of things
that it's like, I can understand why people would go down this rabbit hole, because it just seems like there's a lot of things missing.
I saw a video saying made all of maybe their last scene, like the last thing they filmed, which I thought was really cool. But it's like that type of thing. Like it's not like they just missed it and they filmed like if that, like, or you just thought like it was so far away no one would notice. Like I don't know.
What are some of your favorite plot holes?
Oh, favorite plot holes? I mean, some of the
or things that you wish that they had covered.
Things I really wish they had Morgan, and someone was like, oh, it's because Vecna's looking like how Will looks through the Demogorgons.
The Duffers said that.
Oh wait, the Duffers said that?
Yeah, the freaking Duffers.
Oh, that's embarrassing. Okay, the Duffers said that. I guess they were just saying actually like address it in.
No, they didn't.
Which is a bummer because it's like that's like who's gonna go watch all these interviews? You know, like
so,
that doesn't count.
Did you hear what our pastor said?
Yeah, what did our pastor say?
We were just at a prayer thing. He was the Stranger Things 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was alive in the 80s, so
Ex-alive.
He knows a lot. Wow, this is my new favorite theory. But how does she? Where does she hiding in the? She couldn't see him.
Yeah.
So there. And then they were explaining that, like, actually, the Demogorgons lived in Dimension X, and she connected, and that's what makes a lot of sense because she could have opened the door. And got to the end of the season, they realized, oh, this is going to kill this whole show. So to make a second season, we have to. I think it's very interesting
because she knew who Will was. Like. She points to him and she's like, Will, and he's like, oh, did you see him? Like he asked, and then she's like, I don't know, she'd seen him. And so it's like where he wasn't in the lab, like the only way she would have seen him was in the Upside Down or like
Dr. Owens. Closet.
Yeah.
He's locked up in there.
You think he just died there?
Probably.
Because which group
brought up
really good, like a Vecna and Victor Creel interaction. Like that would have been insane.
Oh man, I don't know when they would have done that.
I don't know when.
Yeah,
he has no idea. Like his freak son is just wandering around. Like that obviously would have been like a really big storyline that like probably would have taken too much time. Papa was looking for Russians with a huge thing, and then
no,
or was it a vision of Vecna?
No, because he shot through. I think it was just a vision because he can do that. He can and that's why people are like, how do you go from season 1 writing to season 5? It just disconnect. These can be written by the same people. People are like, there has to be more. Like losing their mind.
I don't know. What do you have?
Brothers flayed my mind.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all.
That's true, though.
So that way they say.
Okay.
But why? I don't think they thought about this, honestly. They just thought, okay, well, then Dustin, then Mike, and they didn't think.
And they're
like this.
Because I'm imagining it and not chaotic. I don't know. The one thing that is interesting is like the people with the whole idea that it's like all in, like fake Mike's mind or whatever. That
that's what's happening.
I feel like
I favor that theory.
Low-key, I feel like even though it's not confirmed, I feel like, and there's no new episode explaining it, I feel like everyone kind of believes like
it opened to interpretation though.
They did. But the thing with the
when
characters,
you think about it, explain all of the inconsistencies because they're just kids telling stories.
When they're all
stories, and she's like, "Hey,
campaign."
So it seems like maybe it was either. Here's what I think: it was a campaign, or it was like a series of campaigns that they were playing, and each season is kind of like a different campaign that they played, and it's like them. The final campaign is like them having to cope with growing.
It's interesting
because they did. They like they would get into their characters.
Oh, for sure.
They would like dress up like their characters.
It's like Will the Wise.
Yeah.
And the thing with like the characters that aren't in like the final episode, which like they probably didn't care about them, like Vicky and Susie, like they probably didn't care, or like the people's parents, like why, like like Lucas's parents weren't anywhere.
Dude, they were like, nowhere to be.
They were nowhere to be seen. They for sure would have been at his graduation. Like that's kind of weird, but. I don't know. That stuff like is interesting because it's like, oh, Vecna didn't know about those. Like he wouldn't have put it in that reality, but they probably, I don't know, just didn't either. I don't know what, like why they didn't include those people. like it seems like it would have been something that they wanted to put in, but I don't know.
I'm wondering if the longer runtimes for the final season is true. Oh no, they're saying it's not. So there was something going around for a while where it was showing the true runtime of the episodes, and they were like 2 hours each, and then the last one was 3 hours.
Yeah, I saw that going around.
But I think that was just made up. At least that's what this is saying. But it would make sense if they, I mean, they always do have more footage. That they were, I thought they were supposed to announce something today. They were announcing, and then announced a behind-the-scenes documentary. Have you seen anybody talk about this?
A little bit.
It's crazy. So they're like, everyone's like, it's like, I remember there was another show where they were like, they dropped the behind the scenes, and the behind the scenes was actually a like final episode. So everyone's like, oh, it's actually, the behind the scenes is actually a secret episode.
That would be a party.
Where Vecna's still alive and whatever. So that was something, and that's actually coming out. That'll be kind of interesting to see.
Yeah.
Like behind the scenes.
That's the thing. It's like there's so much more coming. Like this was just like the end of this show, but it's like they already released a whole play with backstory. So it's like this is just the beginning of so much stuff that they're going to release, and who knows if it'll answer. But even like the play answered a lot of the questions we have. Even though it wasn't on Netflix, like it still answered a lot of questions people had from like previous times.
So other weird things. Everyone talks about breaking the fourth wall, and Lucas breaking the fourth wall.
What qualifies as breaking the fourth wall in a movie?
Breaking the fourth wall is when somebody in the movie, show, play talks directly to the audience, like we're doing now. I don't think he was talking to the audience, and I don't think he was actually looking right at the camera.
He was like this.
It was like just slightly off. Because
you don't like, I feel like if someone's looking into your eyes, you can tell if someone's looking, if you're making eye contact with someone. And I didn't, like, it was almost as if he was looking like right past. Like I
think so.
It was like he was looking at the camera, but not like making eye contact with us,
And it's, I know that's like a camera, that's like a filming technique too, is like, okay, if he's talking to someone specific, then you put the camera near that person over their shoulder or something, and you don't see that person, but he's talking to the person where the camera is. Yeah, because you're getting that perspective of who he's talking to. He's talking at somebody, but he wasn't talking to the audience.
I guess he just feels just what he said felt suspicious, with it.
And then the other ones, people were like looking at Hopper proposing to Joyce, and it's like, okay, well, the camera's here, filming them here, or like if that's the camera here, and we're looking at them, of course it's going to look like we're looking at the camera. But I don't see how that changes anything or makes a difference for like any of these things.
Yeah, like what would it matter if random people, like what if extras are looking at the camera? That doesn't make a difference to the story. It doesn't seem.
Yeah, I just think people are looking into a lot of things. Like Steve, it's like, okay, if you're in a small town and you're at a small school, you're going to play all the sports, or you're going to coach all the sports. If you're going to coach, like, especially at a small school, you're going to teach history, and you're going to run the track team or whatever, even if you've never done that sport before. So it's like, okay, that's just how it works. That's
and I feel like it makes sense. Like he grew up, obviously we see him as a kid playing basketball, but then it's like he became an adult and now he's teaching. Like it would, I don't know, it would feel still like childish almost if he was still teaching basketball. Like it feels like grew up and now he's like
playing. I guess it's like right at the beginning they're playing the Dungeons and Dragons, and they're fighting against Vecna, they were with Eddie, and he's like brings Vecna back, and they're like, "Wait, Vecna was dead. He lost his left arm and his left eye," which I guess I was watching some other things. I never played D&D, but apparently that's like in the lore is that he like comes back and then is defeated by somebody else, which actually a lot of people theorized would be Eddie. Like Eddie comes back basically as Cass from the dead and defeats Vecna. Way too much for one person to do when you have such a big cast, but that in that one he dies and then he comes back. So it's like, okay, they did weird things like, and they love to foreshadow a little bit.
Oh, for sure.
So
And a lot of the things that happen in the game also kind of happened. Like, oh, the Demogorgon, like, got Will. And then he's like, oh, the Demogorgon got me. And then it, like, a few minutes later, it really does.
And they rolled a 20.
Yeah.
You told me about that one.
That was, like, a lot of people were like, oh, 20, Erica, right, rolls a 20 in season 4 to defeat Vecna. 8 plus 11 plus 1, like, equals 20. So that they were like, those 3. And I thought, too, I was like, that's a very subtle thing that, like, maybe doesn't matter, but I thought there was going to be maybe more of a scene where, like, the 3 of them actually, like, specifically worked together to defeat Vecna. And they all obviously did in their own moments. Like, they each had played a part, but I thought it was going to be, like, the 3 of them really were working together, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. That's interesting. I think that it does go to show that the fans are really committed to the theories.
Yeah.
Like, people put out some really interesting stuff. And
I know.
I wonder why they didn't ever, or I don't know if they did or didn't, but like, they did ever go look at some of these theories and be like, oh, like, we should maybe pull some ideas from what our fans are talking about.
Because you see, like, in interviews with, like, even just cast members, like, they all watch the theory videos and they talk about them, and they're like, I don't know, they all know about them, so I'm curious if they ever. But apparently, I don't know if this is accurate, but they were saying how Millie Bobby Brown and the Duffers are, like, the only ones who actually know 11's ending. Like,
they were saying that.
Yeah.
And they were, like, texting her in this podcast, like, don't tell me.
Yeah. Because she said she, like, went over to their house or something and then, like, wanted to talk to them about something, and then, like, saw her. So maybe, like, I don't know. She, like, talks about that in some interview, and she was like,
wrote it out?
I don't know. I don't know if she just knew her ending as in, like, what was going to happen in season 5, or if they, like, actually said whether she, like.
So we have somebody says, I was so convinced that there was a 9th episode.
Oh.
Rip.
What's their name? John. I know there were some committed people who thought it was going to happen. I personally was hopeful. I was hopeful it was going to happen.
Yeah.
It would have been a crazy good move.
I had, like, so this much hope. Because that would have been. Did all of this, set it all up, and then dropped a secret 9th episode just to, like, follow up and finish the story.
Okay. From what you know, what do you think the storyline, like, what do you think would have been? Because I'm trying to think, like, okay, what would a 9th episode include? Would it be, like, all the plot holes and they're just, like, boom, boom, like, filling all the plot holes?
Yeah.
Like, or would it be, like, showing that this is really in Mike's mind? Like, what would the storyline have been?
I think so I haven't actually thought this through very much, but here's what I'm kind of thinking. If there were a 9th episode, it would open with all of the people in the Mind Flayer with the tubes in their mouth being deceived. Like, we would get that shot right off the bat, and you would just be like, wait, what? And it's like,
all of them,
Joyce and Hopper and Mike, they're all in there. Everyone's in there. And Vecna's like connected. And then it, like, cuts back. Like, that would be just, like, the opening scene. And then, like, it, like, cuts wide to Dimension X, and then it, like, goes to their title card that they always do. And it's, like, the deception of Will Byers or whatever. I don't know. I'm just literally making this up as we go. But then they would, like, cut back, and it's, like, them in the normal world. But maybe they're starting to put this together. And Mike's like, something weird is going on.
Like, starting to notice some suspicious things.
And then they can start to figure out how to escape. And then do their final battle.
Like Truman Show vibe.
Yeah, except it actually has an ending.
Yeah.
Where they actually defeat Vecna.
And it's like an actual good battle.
An actual good battle. And they actually fight real demo.
Dang, this
he comes in with good. With the actual army, and they're like, flamethrowers, like tanks with flamethrowers, Waco style. They're just like,
this one's so good. Like, if you think about it, that would be interesting. Because I feel like I saw so many videos of people talking like Conformity Gate 9th episode, but I didn't really see a lot of people talking about what was actually going to be the 9th episode. Like, they all were hoping, but I was like, okay, what's actually going to be? So.
Oh shoot! Somebody says it's not real, right? No, sorry.
We're just
making this up.
It sounded like a good story, though. That's the problem. Like,
yeah.
It would have been interesting.
It would have been very interesting.
I wonder if they have any regrets.
Oh yeah, for sure. But you can't say that. You can't come back and be like, guys, we really wish that we had made our final episode a lot better.
Yeah, I mean,
so you just gotta own it.
And it's got to be tough.
It is what it is, and that's the hard thing because it's like, okay, it's not horrible.
No, it's not.
There are a lot of things that are like, it's good.
Until people started talking about the 9th episode, like, honestly was satisfied. Like, there was a lot of things that could have been better, but I was like, you know what? You can either like be in denial and like complain about the episode and be like, this was terrible. But my perspective, I'm like, I have enjoyed all 4 seasons of this show. I've loved it. Like, I've loved this show. And then the 5th season. Oh, okay. But like, I've enjoyed all of this, and it's like, what? I'm gonna enjoy all of it, and then like the last episode be like, oh, and then you can just enjoy the show, or I don't know. People are still gonna do this for a while, so.
So the audio's cutting out.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the heartfelt ending was fine. I think it did wrap up, because they keep saying this, like, the whole goal of the show wasn't to be like some dark tale. Like, they wanted it to be a coming of age tale for kids growing up,
like, and nostalgic,
seeing
vibes.
The world through, which kind of makes me think that the whole thing was fake maybe, and it was all just campaigns. But like, seeing the world through these campaigns and like making sense of the world through these games that they played, like that was more what they were going for. So that's why they ended up not really eliminating many characters by the end.
Yeah, that's what I remember them saying,
because they didn't want that. They wanted it to be more of a happy ending, where everybody gets their happy ending, even 11 sort of. So they didn't want to commit to actually eliminating anybody.
And I'm glad, like, they did.
Which is fine, I guess.
They did give you like the whole ending. Like, I'm glad they did show us, like, you felt satisfied. Like, okay, I know where every character ended up. Like, I know what happened to them. Like, because I feel like a lot of times movies and like shows, they do end up a little abruptly, and you're just like, whoa, like the end, and then you're like, wait, what happened to some of these people? But maybe people didn't like how much they stretched it, but like they really did give you all of like, okay, this character, here's their ending. This is, I guess, was good
for the most part. Wait, did you? I don't know if there's a snap from college to go on their road trip or whatever, and it painted a guy in a brown suit with a hat in the background. I don't know if that's true or not, but that was like,
oh wait,
that was crazy.
Okay, no, I've been seeing things like, I saw another thing like that, and I was like, wait,
what if they did like
just for an Easter egg?
Yeah.
So interesting.
We talked a little bit about it. Been alive.
Sadie Sink doesn't think so.
And she was there.
That was interesting, because I was like,
she lied. She was like, I believe in the show. And then like right after, she's like, no.
Because the actress who plays Max, and I guess it was Jimmy Fallon, she was like,
I can't remember.
I think so. Perspective is 11 alive, and she was like, oh no, like I don't think so.
Is that a hot take?
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's interesting, because obviously she, I guess, doesn't know like the real ending that the Duffers made. I don't know if I don't know if the Duffers actually know an ending, or if they just like, I'm sure they have to.
It's their show.
Like, they have to know.
It's funny when you watch interviews by them, they're like, yeah, I guess like maybe they would have done that, and you're like, aren't you the writer?
Yeah.
Don't you know?
Like, don't leave it up to us. Like, it's not our
like,
show.
What did they do in this one? He's like, what did they do with the demos? I guess they just buried. What do you think, Ross? Like, did you write this show?
I guess they're kind of just like, they're just dudes. At the end of the day, they're kind of just making up.
They are. You watch the interviews and you're like, oh, you guys are just doing this for fun. Like, you guys really don't know very much about it. Which is, I think, in some ways, it feels almost like they're kind of less committed to the lore than some of the fans.
Oh yeah.
Which I think is probably why there's like this misalignment
100%.
Between the fans and them. But I don't know. It is funny to watch then, and even some of these, he's like, I really should not have been doing interviews the last couple of days.
Oh,
like, oh man.
That's tough. What do you think, like, do you think they're gonna be like stuck on Stranger Things forever, or will they like move on to other things?
It's gonna be hard for them to move on. Elijah Wood, who played Frodo.
Yeah.
Just Frodo.
Mm-hmm. Characters like that, like even, I don't know, other ones like Emma Watson, like from Harry Potter, like she's like, people get used to you and that. Yeah. It's hard to even get other jobs or move on to other things.
I think it is difficult. Or like Peter Jackson, like, that he made.
I mean, he didn't need to do like that man did not need to do anything. He really completed his life. Like, you know, like he did so good. Lord of the Rings, like he could have died in peace that day and done all of his work well.
I think they'll do more Stranger Things stuff, and then
for sure.
I think eventually they will have to try and branch out and do some other things, but it's going to be a hard transition to go from, unless they stick in the same kind of genre, like Steven Spielberg nostalgic style stories like that. I think they could probably thrive, but
I wonder if they'd go do something like more dark, where it is like
it could,
a different realm where it's not like kids, but it's like
go do a Harry Potter show.
Yeah,
I don't know. So wait, what do you think? 11 is alive or no?
Get into Mike's mind if she was right on the other side.
Sorry.
Like, how did she get into Mike's mind without, you know, she's always having to wear her blindfold or at least like close her eyes. How did she get into Mike's mind if she was just on the other side of the upside down? Like,
she didn't. It was Callie.
What do you mean?
Callie went into Mike's mind and disguised herself.
Ew! Callie just wanted a little before she died.
She's crazy.
But
no, like, it's true.
Like, okay, how did she? And she didn't have a nosebleed. But then at the same time, it's like.
Okay, point out what's the evidence for?
For what, both?
She's alive.
Okay.
I mean, you have Mike's whole theory.
She
has the vision from afar. She was able to escape, and even like you see behind the scenes. Or not behind the scenes, I guess behind the scenes, but like the raw footage, they're like filming and you see her jump out of the truck and run away.
Yeah,
like,
she runs away.
She was in the truck the whole time.
Yeah.
And she just runs off.
And she was like, when you watch it, like there is like, you see her getting out of the truck, you know?
Oh, okay.
You do see her getting out, but then like it cuts and then you don't see her see her run away. You just see her like behind Mike as he's getting out.
Yeah.
So it's, I don't know. It's so hard to know because it's like, okay, there is stuff like that where it's like, okay, how would she with all the kryptonite?
They would have to both be alive. So for them, I think for them to both, for 11 to be alive, to escape, and maybe they could have jumped out of the truck a little earlier or something. Like, I think so that way they could set up this elaborate plan. And then she's like casting illusions all over the place. And then maybe they could have gone through a different part of the gate. Like there's tons of ways to get out of the upside down at that point. So maybe they jumped out of the truck a little earlier, ran and climbed out, and then just like did it from just outside of the zone where they were like suppressing it.
Callie like would have had to have been closer, you know, because she was really far away. And she would have had to like have escaped the lab because they blew it up.
Yeah, the lab blew up.
And like they don't blow the lab up immediately. Like, you know, like there is the whole point where she's getting out of the truck. The lab isn't blown up yet, but as soon but you see 11
she's standing in the windstorm or whatever.
Yeah, you see her standing in the windstorm after, and so it's like, okay, Callie would have had to escape and like left, but even if Callie was in the upside down and it blew up, she would have been immediately, you know, into the abyss.
Well, I mean, they showed a little bit that she could like kind of stand in the wind. You know, remember like earlier they were like running through the wind.
True.
And they were like gravestones like flying past
that's
them.
true.
And they're like, so she could have maybe
have extra powers.
She could have maybe.
But then it's also there are some things where it's like, how is she? Like, how would she have died? You know?
Well, okay, so then for her not being alive, if she jumped out of the truck somehow right before they went through and then was standing on the other side of the gate, my question is, would those things have worked through the gate? Since it's a completely different dimension, would those suppressors or the kryptonite, would that have worked through the gate? Like, could she have stood there and actually...
I think there's a big chance that the kryptonite didn't work on the other side of the upside down. Like, I think there's a big chance of that happening. Yeah. Also, people were saying, like, even if 11 was right there underground, like, they show how, like, one of the kryptonites, like, on the building was like, and so even if she was underground, there were like 10. I think it would have still been affecting her right there. It would have been
hard for her to escape.
But it is like, how would she have got? Like, I do wonder, like, how would she have gotten out of the truck? and escaped that quickly and ran all the way and was standing there like that. You know, if she was actually
actually there, well, she would have had a bout before. And I think that's what makes it most plausible is that because she was committed to the plan even before, and Hopper was like trying to make her not commit to this plan. If she was committed to it, then right before they made that corner to jump out, she just like kind of jumps out, and then as soon as they go through,
and Collie's
and then it's like all
showing
the
the
chaos.
vision or what? Because you see,
no, Collie's dead for real.
But you see 11. You do see 11 when they open.
Oh,